What's up, everybody? It is the Best Spot Kidsmoove, and I know what you're thinking. You probably see the title and you're probably asking yourself, damn man, you got robbed 4 times, or you're probably like, damn dog, how'd you get robbed 4 times? It's like, I know it's a bit ridiculous, but don't worry, it's not as bad as it seems. But sit back, relax, enjoy, and listen to the 4 robberies I've never really quite recovered from.
I said, clap for a nigga, clap for a nigga. Your boy living good, I deserve some recognition. Clap for my troubles, clap for my success. Tell me that you love me and wish for me the best.
Alright, for the first robbery that I never quite recovered from, let's talk about the Rode Podcaster mic. Oh man, I saved up maybe 6 months for this microphone. This microphone costed me $229. Had it connected to a gateway laptop, and I was working on one of my mixtapes. Actually, my very first like legit mixtape. It was called Greatness in the Making. You should try to look this up on the internet. It was fucking classic, fucking classic. This mic changed me, and I dropped a classic. But besides that point, the Rode Podcaster mic was one of the best mics at the time. It was a USB mic. I didn't need all this mixing stuff. It just sounded, your voice sounded warm, crisp, and I was able to produce some of the best content. So, and the content that I was producing attracted all the neighborhood boys or rappers that was coming up, and they would come to me and pay me to record their vocals so they so I can produce their mixtapes. It was a pretty awesome gig, and I would get like free collabs and whatnot, and I felt like the shit because I was like, yo, like I'm doing this dude's music, I'm doing that dude's music, and I'm about to drop the best mixtape. Now this took place in 2007, and this year was so important because it was my last year in high school. I was a senior, and I was that transitioning from just that kid to that fucking kid, and I was coming, my rhymes was about to be tight, nobody wasn't going to want to see me, and I had something waiting for all my high school peers. I couldn't fuck with nobody athletically, let alone I couldn't fuck with nobody in a fight, but nobody could fuck with me on the mic. And on one tragic night after a session, I fell asleep downstairs. My studio was set up in the laundry room, and I remember just being asleep, and then I remember it was raining, and I'm hearing the rain like very, very close, like just adamant sound, and I'm like feeling wind across my face, and I woke up, and I'm like, what the fuck? I look at the door is open, the back door is open, the screen is like waving back and forth because the wind is so strong, and the kitchen light's off, but I see the laundry room light on, and I look at the microwave and it reads, it's like 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm like, yo, who the fuck, like, who's that? Is that my mom in there? Like, what the fuck? So I go in there and I hear like somebody's like messing around, like trying to hurry up and grab shit. And I'm like, oh shit, my heart drops to like my stomach, man. I was like, oh shit, like somebody's in there and I'm scared. What if they got a gun? I live in the hood. So I called my mom. And she came downstairs and confirmed, yeah, there was a felon in our laundry room. She tried to figure out what the hell they were doing. He froze up, dropped my laptop and the bleach, and my laptop fell into the Clorox, so that was it for my laptop. But he managed to leave with my microphone, my Rode podcasting mic, and the mic stand and the pop filter. Took it all, ran his black ass down the street, and once I realized I got robbed, I cried. I called the cops, and even hopped in a cop car and rode down the street pointing at houses of where I think the felon lives. And I never really quite recovered from that. It was kind of sucked. Wow, another robbery I've never recovered from, and I probably will never recover from. This robbery probably changed me as a person, as a hobbyist. Wow. 1999. I think I was in 5th grade. Wow, I'm showing my age. Pokemon. Like all my other peers in middle school, I was on my quest to collect all 150 Pokemon and collect all the holographic cards available. And when I had a red Pokemon book. I think this Pokemon book had like Charmander on the cover, and it was just hundreds of pages of just slots to put my cards in. And I remember like having my putting all my holographics in the back of the book and how they looked. It was just like so gratifying. I remember asking my mom giving me $10 like a week just so I can buy Pokemon cards and hopefully I get a holographic. And used to go to class, go to lunch, and like just look at them. I mean we trade sometimes. We ain't play, we didn't battle them. We just had them just to look at and just to show off like who got the rarest card, who got the best cards. I was a really big fan of Pokemon in the 90s. Loved the cartoon, loved the cards. I knew all the characters, went to go see the movies like day one. Big Pokemon fan. Of course, I grew up in New Haven, man. I went to, I forgot the name of the freaking middle school. And unfortunately, one of those badass knuckleheaded kids went into my book, I think one day when I wasn't paying any attention to it. And they took majority of my cards. They took all my holographics. My Charizard, my Venusaur, my Mewtwo. My Pokemon cards being robbed was like the ultimate gut check. I cried for weeks. It was so bad that I never attempted to collect Pokemon cards again. I stopped watching the shows. I didn't collect the cards anymore. Never bought them again. That's how bad kids stealing my Pokemon cards impacted me. Matter of fact, I think I remember the kid's name. I think his name was Brandon. And he was iffy, you know. I think we went into he went into my book bag during lunch break, and he got him. Cause I remember I didn't realize my Pokemon cards were like gone until I got on the school bus and me looking through it and me crying on the way back because I knew I got my Pokemon cards. My Pokemon cards. That was very, very, very impactful because no, I didn't collect all 150. I've had about like 5 holographic cards, and when you got that holographic, you felt something. You felt something. It was like validation, and that was all gone. Couldn't be a part of the conversation. Had nothing to show. It was all done, and that was pretty much it. That shit hit me hard. Matter if that shit never happened, who would have known the type of person I would have been today, or the type of gamer or shit? I probably would have been a Super Nintendo fanboy. Damn. All right, let's talk about it now. This was very impactful. This was the Nextel i860. Now, if you guys, 2005, 2006, this is probably the last hype phone before the age of the iPhones and the touchscreens and the smartphones. Man, the Nextel Boost Mobile phase. Boost Mobiles was the shit. I still remember my direct connect. It was 183 star, 166 star, 12582. 183 star, 166 star, 12582. I only remember that because I said it in a song that I made. I was like, 183 star, alright, 183 star, 166 star, 125, something like that. Yeah. But anyway, one of the most hype phones. There was 2 like dominantly popular phones that you had to have. This was gonna be the phone that this was probably the phone that allowed us boys to lose like our virginity, pretty much. I mean, it was the Nextel i870 and the Nextel i860. Now, when I first was blessed to upgrade to the i860, you know, you had the button, it popped up, you had the big screen. Like I had the case to show off that blue slick front. Like, it just make people feel away. They just look at you a certain way, like, man, he is the shit. And I used to walk around with my do-rag and my fitted hat to the back, and with my i860 hosted over, and my shirt would be, you know, just tucked just so the phone can just show. And then the ringtones would be popping off. This was like the best phone. Now, functionality, I don't know what it did special, but it had the screen in the front, it had the camera, it had the button on the side. It was the shit. It was the shit. And I was the only one, and this is high school, this is my junior year in high school, I was the only one with that phone. Everybody else had like the model before, or like a sub model, or the boost version. I had the Nextel, the one that you had to unlock. I had the Nextel. I had the one that you needed a contract for. Even though I didn't have no Sprint contract or Nextel contract at the time, I had a Nextel phone, but I had like a boost chip and it worked. So, man, yes, this phone was literally me. It was my identity at the time. And I remember us, I went to a tech school, and I studied like hotel hospitality management. We took a field trip to the Clinton outlets, and if you're from Connecticut, you know what this is. This used to be the spot to go shopping. Like, I don't know, I went to the Clinton outlets and whatnot. We had to do like some charity thing for like the holidays or something like that. So we go, we do it. The teacher allowed us to go shopping and whatnot. Get back on the bus. It's a long ride. It's about like a 45 minutes to an hour ride to back to the school. I remember my phone being in my clip. And I remember, I don't know, me and falling asleep, man. Me and falling asleep. Fell asleep on the bus. On the fucking bus. And of course, I'm sitting on the outside. Now, I don't remember if the phone was in my clip or if the phone was on my lap. Went to sleep with the phone on me, woke up, the phone was missing, and there wasn't really a find my iPhone situation back in 2006. Like, you know, there just wasn't. You just had to call and hope the little idiot fucking pick up the phone. Till this day, I know who took it, but you know, and if you're watching, I didn't forget, and you know I know, but they sold it, and it just something and I was struck from there. It was just like, I was like, damn, what do a nigga do? Like, I couldn't recover because I had just spent $300 on that phone. Like, niggas was spending $300 on Boost Mobiles and Nextels. I spent $300 on my phone, and I'm like, dog, I don't know what to do. Like, and about time I did recover and get like the next step up, them shits died because the iPhone was announced the same. Oh my god. All right, so let's bring it back. 2003 maybe. Yes, this was my first, I think, I believe it was my first PS2. My mom got me this PlayStation 2 for my birthday maybe. I recall this year, like in that year 2003, having games like SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, and the N1 Street Hoop games, the Getaway. I think I had a couple of the arcade basketball games. I had a couple games back then, and I just remember like always having friends over and playing it. And I did live in a crackhead infested neighborhood at the time, and I do recall just one night, not one night, one day, like one day, just waking up and seeing that my PlayStation 2 was not there. The multi-tap was there, and my Mad Catz controller was there, but the initial controller and I think SmackDown was still there, but all the other games were gone. It was just like, it just looked like a sloppy job. Like, And I first blamed it on my mom. I was like, Mom, did you like, you know, take my PlayStation? Did I do something wrong? Because my mom used to do it. She used to work late and get pissed off because she would come home, the house would be a mess, my room would be a wreck, and she would come clean up my room while I was sleeping, and to punish me, she would take away one of my consoles or something. She would take away something and put it in her room for a couple of days and then give it back to me when she's not mad anymore. And so I thought that's what happened, because I woke up, my room was a mess, and my PlayStation was gone. And I'm like, hey Mom, like, I'm sorry, I messed up the room. Can I have my PlayStation back? And she was like, what are you talking about? I ain't take it. She's like, I didn't take your PlayStation. And I'm like, it's not in my room. And then she was like, what you mean it's not in your room? So she looked in the room. We're like panicking. My PlayStation is gone. And I'm like, what happened? And we came to the conclusion that somebody broke in and took it. Chances are it happened while I was either at a friend's house or sleeping, or sleeping, because I tend to get robbed when I'm sleeping. And because the thing that I did that creeped me out about it was that my wallet was sitting next to my PlayStation, and in my wallet I had about like $60 in there. So, but it remained. My wallet wasn't robbed, but my PlayStation was gone, and I remember being very depressed about it, because I think I was playing SmackDown a lot, and wrestling was like my thing back then. And I remember like crying to my mom, and then my mom, to make it up, I don't think she could afford another PlayStation 2, so she got me a GameCube with WrestleMania 18, I think. What WrestleMania? It was a WrestleMania. It was some garbage game, but I had to deal with the GameCube, and I just kind of held on to that until I was able to save up some money and afford myself a PlayStation 2 again. But it was just one of those moments where like I felt really violated. Like, yo, somebody came in, and rumor had it, like back then I didn't know what was going on, but yeah, some crackhead broke into the apartment. Good thing it actually took place when I was home. I was actually away at this time. I just didn't notice my PlayStation was missing when I went to bed that night. And yeah, they made off with my money. And the thing is, my neighbors knew about it. Actually, I think my neighbors knew the fucking crackhead. I think it was actually like a cousin of the neighbors, and I just looked at like people just differently. Like, I mean, not to be racist, I just started looking like black people differently. Like, really, bro? Like, you know, you got a cousin that's on drugs. You know, we live upstairs, and he broke into my shit. And those are, man, damn. And yeah, those are my 4 robberies that I've been a victim of, that I've never quite recovered from. Hope you guys learned something from this, and I'm glad this is all behind me, because I haven't been robbed since. But I want to know your thoughts on the comment section below. I would love to hear your guys' feedback, and I'll talk to you guys later. It's Kidsmoove. As always, Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. Peace.